At what point did you start seeing YouTube as a business and not just a hobby?
I don't remember the exact moment. I feel like it was sort of like a gradual change. I mean, when I started YouTube, I definitely didn't think that it was going to be my full-time job. It was just something I was doing for fun. I thought it could be sort of a cool thing to try. But after, I don't know, maybe it was like 6 months or so, the YouTube Partner Program is fairly new, and I noticed that a lot of people are actually starting to make it a job. So it took me a little while longer than that to actually, even get partner or start making money in the first place. But yeah, I'd say probably like 6 months or so.
What is the video that you are most proud of and why?
The video I am most proud of is actually a super recent one. Is the iPhone 7 Plus worth it? That was a big production. I think a lot of our videos are done on a very, very low budget. It's just like a couple of us like trying to throw something together in a week or something. But this is a thing where we really wanted to go all out. We really wanted to kind of take something to the next level. And I think we actually did. I'm really happy with the results. It was we built a lot of sets for it. We had multiple locations. We really kind of put the extra time in to kind of make it sort of a video I'm really proud of.
Why do you think YouTube has much more success than other video web platforms?
Something that always surprises me is how unhappy YouTubers are with YouTube. It's weird to me. Now, don't get me wrong, YouTube makes a lot of dumb decisions, right? Like, I'm not going to try to say they're like the best company in the world, but when you look at YouTube, right, and I feel like one of the most like key moments in YouTube's history was creating the partner program. Because think about it, even today, it's not super common to be able to actually create content and be able to monetize it on other sites, right? So you make a Facebook video, good luck trying to get that monetized. Twitter, Instagram, whatever. It's not really a very common thing even today. However, YouTube was smart enough to recognize that, hey, look, this is a really cool idea. We really want to be able to build stuff, but to build any kind of reasonable scale, we have to get like actual creators to be involved and not just be able to do stuff kind of part-time or having fun with it, actually to be able to make it a job. So I think for YouTube to be able to kind of really focus and be able to make monetization available, and indeed like today, pretty much anyone can go create a YouTube channel and start making money on it. Obviously you need a lot of views to do that, but there's no real like barriers to entry. You can really very, very easily be able to get into it. So I think that's a huge part of why YouTube has actually been successful, and I think that's a huge part of why it's so difficult as a creator to imagine leaving YouTube for another platform.
So as a creator, is it hard to have that work-life balance between relationships and just having a nightlife or spending 15 hours a day creating stuff?
Yes. It's funny, right? So I've been doing this for coming up on 8 years now, and I had the benefit for quite a few of those years of being a total nerd. So being inside all the time was totally fine. It was what I was doing anyway. Now I feel like it's a little bit more tricky for sure. So first of all, there's a lot more to do in LA than there was ever back home. So there's that. And yeah, I think it's tricky to be able to kind of find that balance, right? Because there's always more work that needs to be done. Like, I never for a minute feel like, oh, look, I'm caught up. There's always something that needs to be done, something that's overdue, something that I forgot to do. There's always something that I need to do. Like, in fact, I know right now, since we're done here, I have like 4 things I need to do immediately before we even shoot the next video, right? Like, there's always a sort of uncomfortable sense of I should be doing work. And it's easy to kind of do that, and obviously sometimes you have to, and you put those 14, 15-hour days or those 80, 100-hour weeks, like, that happens sometimes, right? But being able to kind of separate yourself and be able to kind of say, hold on a second, I'm going home now. I'm not going to think about videos. I'm not going to think about the channel. I'm going to go and watch some Netflix. I'm going to go hang out with my girlfriend. I'm going to go relax for a little bit. And that's something that it's hard for me to kind of get into that mindset. But I find that if I don't, and if I really don't really forcibly pull myself away from thinking about work, I just can't focus. It's just a nightmare. I really need to be able to kind of have at least a little bit of chill time, take things down a notch, come back the next day, and hopefully be ready to get back on it.
With your channel, what is one area that you really want to take to the next level? Like you mentioned earlier, the iPhone 7 video really kind of, I think, cinematic-wise and just everything took to the next level. But is there another area, or do you want to keep progressing in like more cinematography and stuff like that?
I think I always want to be evolving. And I think that what that means evolves, if you'll pardon the pun. I think that for a while, especially in the early days of the channel, it was always about more videos. I always wanted to do more and more and more. And honestly, if you look at like the analytics and you look at the numbers, there's plenty of justification for doing something like daily content, right? There are multiple people who do very well who do daily content. And there are a lot of people, other people who do like even very, very frequent videos like 3, 4, 5 a week. And that's possible, but difficult. And especially with the kind of videos that I want to make, it's very difficult to be able to crank out that kind of volume while still making a video that I'm actually really happy with. I mean, sure, I can go, and sometimes videos are simple, right? So sometimes we can knock an entire video out in a day, and it's, yeah, sure, you know, it was a more simple sort of video, but most of the stuff we do, sure, we might be able to shoot it in a day, but it might take 2 days to edit, right? Or, you know, we shoot one part of it this day, then the next week we go, okay, hey, let's go back to that project and work on it. Like, it's a constant sort of progression, so it's difficult to be able to kind of crank as many videos as theoretically I could be doing. So to really kind of make sure that, you know, we're happy and we're doing the kind of stuff and that honestly I'm happy with what I'm working on, I'm gonna be able to make sort of next level stuff. And I think that it's fun to not only just do that on the production side. I mean, of course, sometimes it's fun to go completely crazy with like some insane camera setup or whatever, but more than that, trying to find the more interesting and unique sort of angles that people really aren't covering, right? I mean, I think everyone has their own niche and everyone has, you know, like specializing in smartphones or unboxings or whatever the case is. But for me, I've always kind of found my passion to be just finding cool shit. And when I can find that and kind of share it with the audience, that's what really kind of fulfills me.
So with a traditional business model, normally you kind of keep your competitors at like a safe distance, you know, keep an eye on them and always, you know, sometimes you may be friends with them, but you kind of don't really let them in on the inside. Why do you think YouTubers and you and Marquez and John and Lou and like, you know, your whole Team Crispy group here, why do you think that's different? Do you think it's a huge, I mean, obviously I'm guessing you think it's a huge benefit to all be close friends, but why do you think that's different compared to, you know, the traditional like business?
I think you just don't understand my strategy and that I'm just trying to take them all down from the inside. That's the real key here. I'm just learning everyone's weaknesses, and one day there's going to be a Team Crispy Exposed video and I will be the king of YouTube. Or they're just kind of cool to hang out with. One of the two. I really haven't decided yet. You know, just keep my options open. No, I think it's been very beneficial to be able to hang out and work with everybody. And I think that YouTube, sort of by its nature, is a very sort of solitary thing. I mean, it's not US-tube, it's YouTube, which doesn't really make sense. But you'll get my idea that it's difficult to really make it by yourself, right? Like that's not really something that is very common. Some people certainly do it and some people kind of thrive in that sort of environment. But for me, I found that I work much better, not only working as a team, but being able to just collaborate with people. And it's not always like, hey, let's do a video together. Like honestly, that's actually a fairly small part of it. It's more of, oh, look, you found this cool new tip for, you know, being able to get better search results, right? Or, oh, you're doing this when you link your videos on Twitter or whatever. It's like the smaller sort of things, but all those little tiny like, oh, that's a good idea. Those sort of moments add up. And I find that just being able to constantly talk with people and constantly work with everyone, I mean, right now, there are enough views for everyone to go around, right? It's not like if I do a video that does well, all of a sudden Marquez doesn't get to eat, right? Like it doesn't really work like that. There's plenty to go around for everyone. So there's really very little like benefit in trying to kind of like close things off and kind of make it more of a siloed experience. Honestly, if you can work with everyone, and honestly, so many people in the tech community are cool, it makes it very easy to kind of learn from everyone and kind of build something that's better for everyone versus like kind of everyone doing their own little thing, and it's sort of a bunch of little islands versus everyone kind of grouping up and kind of sharing the experience.
I think Ralphie's secretly the mole, right?
Oh yeah, Ralphie is actually on my payroll, so you probably should cut the camera out. But yeah, Ralphie's actually, he's working on that side where, you know, sweet. Jack is maybe involved. Anyway, moving on. Next. Yeah, of course.
One final question, and the king of all questions. What advice do you have for YouTubers starting out who are strapping in for the long haul, trying to make it big in this vast billions of minutes and gigs of YouTube?
If you're really wanting to be serious about YouTube, the first and by far most important question is this something you really are passionate about? I made videos for a year, and then, mind you, this was when I was like 16, where I did not have exactly a ton of free time. I made videos every spare moment for a year without making a dime. Like there was no money involved, there's nothing. I did it because it was so exciting to be able to share something that I made with the world. And of course, back in those days, it wasn't exactly in the hundreds of thousands of views. I mean, it was like, oh, I got 100 views on this video, or I got 300 videos, or 300 views, or whatever it was. Like, that was so fulfilling to me. And I think that without that sort of passion, without that sort of like excitement to be part of it, it would have been very difficult to be able to kind of take things up to the next level. It's not, there's absolutely opportunity there, but I don't think YouTube's a great place to just say, hey, this is going to be my job, I'm just going to go do this, right? Like, you really need to make sure that you're in it for the long haul, like you said. And I think that you really need to be able to make sure that it really, really, really helps if you're actually passionate and you can actually kind of like do stuff for a while and do stuff without even getting paid or even like getting a lot of views, right? Like, I think one of my favorite stories ever is that Marquez, when he started his channel, he had 100 videos and like 80 subscribers. Like, that's an incredible, like, I love that, right? Because it really shows the passion there of he was making videos because he enjoyed it, not because he was rich or famous or anything like that. He wanted to make videos. He wanted to share it with the world. And I feel like you really have to have that kind of attitude to be able to make it. Because, you know, who knows? It could take 2, 3, 4, 5 years before you actually start to get any kind of reasonable amount of success. And I mean, that's a long time. And if you're not, you know, if you're hating your life and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make another video, or you put all your hopes and dreams into one video and it doesn't do well and you're crushed. I mean, it's easy to do. I've absolutely done it myself. It's like, you know, you get really excited, you put a ton of effort into a video, and then like 3 people watch it and you go, oh, I guess that's a thing. But the most important thing is to make sure it's something you really enjoy and make sure that it's something that you want to do long term, because it's not gonna be an easy road to get there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool.
And that's a wrap.
All right.